So basically, there was this legendary hero named Erdrick who totally bodied the dreaded Dragon Lord and saved the entire world. After securing the bag, he settled down with his new bride, and his descendants split up to rule 3 different kingdoms, like a fantasy Nepo baby dynasty. Everything was chill and prosperous for ages until things started going sideways. The family tree branched out, establishing the kingdoms of Cannock and Moonbrook. It was giving major expansion pack energy. They wanted their kids to be besties and rule the world together, setting up this whole prophecy vibe where the cousins would eventually have to link up to save the world if evil ever decided to make a comeback tour. Then everything went completely off the rails at Moonbrook Castle. The guards started panicking because an army of monsters showed up uninvited. The king tried to be the main character and defend the place, but Hargon's minions were absolutely relentless, wrecking the whole setup. It was absolute chaos, and the defense was crumbling faster than a cookie in milk. The king realized they were cooked and told his daughter she had to dip immediately. He was ready to trade 1,000 lives just to keep her safe, which is honestly tragic. He sacrificed himself to buy her time, proving he was a real one, while the castle literally crumbled around them. The princess had to run while her home burned. Back at Middenhall, the king notices his son looks stressed and tells him to go touch grass and talk to the locals. He gives this whole speech about duty and lineage, basically telling the prince he needs to step up and be both a king and a hero because the vibes are off. It is time to stop LARPing and lock in. A soldier from Moonbrook stumbles in looking absolutely wrecked. He uses his last breath to spill the tea about Hargon destroying the castle. It is a massive wake-up call. The king of Middenhall realizes the era of peace is officially over and tells his son it is time to pack his bags and start the hero journey for real. The king sends the Prince of Middenhall to find his cousin in Cannock because they cannot fight this darkness alone. He hands over some starter gear and tells him to head west. It is basically the tutorial phase where he has to go find the rest of the squad before facing the big bad. The stakes are high, but the inventory is empty. The prince arrives at Cannock only to find out his cousin has already left. The king of Cannock admits his son is kind of a featherbrain and went off on his own quest. Now, instead of fighting monsters, the prince has to go on a wild goose chase to find this guy who clearly cannot stay in one place for 5 minutes. After running around the map and constantly missing him, they finally link up. The Prince of Cannock is acting super casual about the whole thing, but he agrees to join the party. Now they are a duo, ready to find the 3rd member of the trio and actually get some work done. The fellowship is forming, but they are still one short. They arrive at the ruins of Moonbrook, and it is absolutely devastating. The place is destroyed, and it is just a ghost town. They realize the severity of the situation. This is not just a game anymore. Hargon is out here destroying civilizations, and they need to put a stop to it. They start looking for any survivors in the rubble. Hi there. If you want to enjoy more gaming lore without grinding for 60 hours, hit that subscribe button. I do the grinding so you don't have to. Your support really helps the channel. They find out the princess was cursed and turned into a dog, which is wild. They manage to break the spell and she transforms back. The trauma dumping begins immediately, but she is ready to throw hands with Hargon for what he did to her family. The squad is finally complete, and the revenge tour is officially starting now. They need to cross the ocean but have no boat, so they have to climb these massive towers called the Dragon's Horns. They use the Windbreaker cloak to literally glide across the strait, which is a massive flex. It is a terrifying jump, but they stick the landing and keep moving. Physics apparently do not apply to heroes of legend. They learn about these 5 mystical sigils they need to collect. It is basically a giant fetch quest across the entire world. These sigils are the key to unlocking the way to Hargon's lair, so the squad has to scour every dungeon and town to track them down. The king tells them it is time to explore the open world. They finally secure a ship which opens up the entire map. The world is their oyster now, but that also means the danger levels just skyrocketed. They can go anywhere, but they have to be smart about where they dock because the ocean is full of high-level threats. The road trip energy is real, except it is on a boat. Disaster strikes when the Prince of Cannock gets hit with a nasty curse during a fight. He is down for the count, and the party is spiraling. They have to leave him behind at an inn while they search for a cure, proving that even heroes are not invincible. The mood shifts from adventure to crisis management real quick. They get intel that a leaf from the World Tree is the only way to cure the prince. It involves trekking through a massive forest and dealing with tricky navigation. It is a fetch quest within a fetch quest, but they do not have a choice because their healer is out of commission. The clock is ticking on his life. They secure the leaf, rush back, and brew a tea to save him just in time. The prince wakes up and immediately starts yapping, trying to play it cool. The group is relieved, but the princess absolutely roasts him for making them worry. The near-death experience definitely brings the group closer together, even if they pretend to be annoyed. They visit the king of Durkendor, who is basically a gladiator fanboy. He makes them fight in an arena to prove they are worthy of one of the sigils. It is a straight-up gauntlet, but they sweep the competition. The king is impressed by their skills and hands over the goods, admitting they are built different. They start running into Hargon's elite generals. They face off against minions of Belial, and the trash talk is unreal. The enemies are getting smarter and more organized, proving that the closer they get to the end, the harder the opposition is going to push back. They realize Hargon is watching their every move. They help the Mermaid Queen deal with some invaders who are trying to mess with the ocean. The monsters are bickering among themselves, which the heroes use to their advantage. Saving the mermaids secures them the ability to travel underwater properly, unlocking new areas and getting them closer to the final sigils. The aquatic level is unlocked. They meet with the fairies who drop a massive lore dump. They explain that the sigils are needed to wake up Rubiss, the spirit who protects the land. This connects all the dots and gives them a clear endgame objective. Get the sigils, wake the spirit, and use her power to break Hargon's defenses. They encounter a priest who betrayed humanity to save his sister, but got played by the monsters. It is a grim reminder of how Hargon manipulates people's desperation. They manage to get a sigil from him, but the whole interaction leaves a bad taste in their mouths. It proves that Hargon is not just strong, he is cruel. The heroes pull a high IQ play by using a speaking tube to trick the monsters into thinking their boss is betraying them. It causes absolute chaos in the enemy ranks, allowing the party to swoop in and grab what they need without fighting the entire army at once. It is a stealth mission gone perfectly right. They finally track down the mermaid who stole the pearls and the sigil. She tries to act tough, but she is completely outnumbered. She drops some nihilistic philosophy about taking what you want, but eventually flees. The heroes secure the final sigil, meaning the fetch quest is finally over and it is time for the endgame. They revisit a monster they spared earlier who has actually turned over a new leaf. He gives them crucial intel on how to reach Hargon's plateau. It turns out showing a little kindness actually paid off, giving them the shortcut they desperately needed. It is a nice moment of redemption in a world full of monsters. They learn that the only way to reach Hargon's plateau is through a super dangerous cave leading to Rhone. They need the eye of Malroth, false idol, to open the entrance. It is the final barrier before the endgame, and the anticipation is absolutely killing them. They have to gear up for the hardest dungeon crawl yet. They meet the Prince of Erdrick, who has been hiding out in a basement for years. He gives them his blessing, which allows them to enter the final dungeon. It is a heavy moment seeing the last survivor of the destroyed kingdom pass the torch to the new generation. He basically tells them to finish what his father couldn't. They dive into the sea cave to fight the guardians holding the false idol. The enemies here are relentless, but the squad is fully powered up now. They defeat the guardians, grab the idol, and are finally ready to storm the gates of Hargon's domain. The path to the final boss is finally open. With all 5 sigils in hand, they head to the shrine to wake up Rubiss. The spirit awakens and gives them the sacred amulet, which protects them against illusions. This is the ultimate buff they needed to survive the mind games Hargon is about to throw at them. They are spiritually fortified and ready for war. They enter Hargon's castle, but it looks exactly like Middenhall. It is a twisted illusion designed to make them complacent. The people are telling them to give up and relax, but the heroes use the amulet to shatter the illusion, revealing the castle for the nightmare it really is. It is a classic trap, but they didn't fall for it. The illusion breaks, and the monsters are furious. They try to convince the heroes that living in a dream world is better than reality, but the squad rejects that noise. They choose the harsh reality over a comfortable lie, which really triggers the villains. The time for talking is over. It is time to throw hands. It is a boss rush now. They have to fight Atlas and Pazuzu back to back. These guys are absolute units, dealing massive damage. The party has to use every buff and heal they have to survive. It is a test of endurance, but they manage to take them down one by one, proving they are stronger than Hargon's best. Belial tries to guilt-trip them using the image of their fallen friends, but they are not falling for it. They engage the final general in a brutal fight. He throws everything at them, but they overpower him, clearing the path to the throne room. They are exhausted, but the big bad is just behind the next door. They pull up on Hargon, and he is yapping about destroying the world to make a safe space for demons. The squad is not having it, and they jump him. The fight is intense, but the heroes are locked in. They defeat him, but in his dying breath, he sacrifices himself to summon the god of destruction. Malroth, the god of destruction, appears, and he is terrifying. He fully heals the party just to crush them at their best, which is the ultimate disrespect. The battle is catastrophic, with massive attacks wiping health bars. It takes everything they have, but they finally land the killing blow and destroy the dark god for good. The sky clears, and peace returns. Rubiss congratulates them, and they head back to Middenhall. The journey back is a victory lap, with people cheering them on. They return to the castle, where the king is waiting to welcome his son and the other heroes back as legends. The world is finally safe. The king of Middenhall steps down and crowns his son, the new king. It is a huge moment, but the prince looks kind of hesitant. He accepts the crown, but you can tell he still has that adventurer's itch. The squad celebrates, but deep down, they know they aren't the type to sit around on thrones all day. Just when they think it is over, a dark presence lingers. The Dragon Lord's descendant reveals he has powered up and challenges them. It is a secret boss fight against a massive dragon. He wants to test if they are truly the masters of the realm. They have to lock in one last time to prove their dominance. The fight against the dragon is brutal, but the heroes manage to win. The Dragon Lord's descendant yields, admitting they are worthy of the Erdrick bloodline. He warns them of a darkness that still lurks, hinting that their job might not be fully done, but for now they are the undisputed champions of the world. After proving their strength, they end up in Alahan, the home of the original hero Ortega. They find his helm, bringing the legacy full circle. The king of Alahan welcomes them, acknowledging that the spirit of the hero lives on in them. It is the perfect nostalgic ending to a chaotic, world-saving journey. Gaming lore is long and confusing, but I break it down every week. Subscribe so you never miss a plot twist or hidden detail. Thanks for watching.